Alright, hello everybody. Today let's go through my junk journal. So I have technically two junk journals. Right now this is a Paperage journal from Amazon. I got this in 2024, and as a little background, I had used it as like a journal, as you could see, like words here. And this was some really deep, dark stuff, as well as really high-level life planning. And it just made the vibes of this journal not great, and I never wanted to open it. And I don't know if I mentioned already, I got this in 2024. Like, let's look at a date that I wrote down. August 19, 2024. So I decided to repurpose it because in 2024 I also went on a cruise, and I knew I wanted to keep a lot of ephemera and put it in a journal. So I decided to finally do that. I kept all this ephemera, or junk, for basically 2 years because I ended up actually putting it all down in February 28th, 2026. And thus, the junk journal was born. And this isn't fully a junk journal. It's more of like a creative journaling thing for me where I put in ephemera. I like to think of it to myself as an ephemera journal where I just put stuff in here. It's a little bit scrapbooky, and it's not purely a junk journal. But I will say it is a little more junk-like compared to other people's. Like, I feel like are actually scrapbooks, which I don't care what you call it, as long as you're enjoying your time journaling, call it whatever you want. I personally don't care, but it is what it is. But yes, this is my junk ephemera journal. So here's our first spread. I basically went on a cruise in 2024 where we hit Greece, Spain, Turkey, Italy, I believe. And I'm just putting a lot of ephemera down for this. And the next one here, it's literally just I had my cousin's baby shower and there were games, so I wanted to keep that. So I put it in here, and then here are just some photo booth pictures that I have nowhere else to really put. So they go in here. Things like this, I will say, is a little bit more scrapbooky. I don't even want to call it scrapbooky because, like, this is just, like, I feel like junk or ephemera. But it is what it is. These were also in February 2028. I did a lot of junk journaling that day, or just putting things in. And for things like this, I try to not be so aesthetic. I think that's what I was very afraid of at first when I first did my ephemera journal, or when I first thought of a junk journal. I was afraid that I would want it to be too perfect, and I think I'm hitting that point now. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think I should definitely stop caring about aesthetic and just actually journal. Anyways, here is my first fountain pen spread, or I don't want to say spread, but this is the spread of all the stuff that came with my first fountain pen. I got a Lamy Safari. I have since sold it, but yeah. And then I got Diamine Honeyburst ink. And then I have my little receipt. And then I had a 2025, or I do have a 2025 Hobonichi Cousin, and it came with this guy, and I didn't want to throw this away because it's beautiful, so I just stuck it in here. And then I literally wrote a blurb about what it is and why it's in there. Then I got more fountain pens. I got a Pilot Kakuno Madoromi like style TWSBI. I got a glass pen, or glass dip pen, which I don't know the brand of, but this I know was kind of some of the ephemera that came with it. Maybe a zoom in will be better. Oh yes. Heck yeah. Maybe a little output there. And then here, again, this might be a little more scrapbooky, but there's things I've decluttered that I want to remember and keep in my heart and memory. but I didn't want to keep in my space because I just don't have enough space. So I took pictures of, these are 2 paintings that I did out of Paint and Sip, and then this is a rug that I tufted. Then I got a thank you card for giving my cousin, well, her baby, a gift during a baby shower, and I got a thank you card, so I put it in here. Here, I got my first order from Goulet Pens. Trigger warning if you work on Teams. Goulet Pens, so I just put some ephemera in there. And then here, I went to Stationery Fest. I got this really nice, I believe it was free postcard from the washi station. And then I put or swatched every single washi that I bought that day. And then here's like a fuller spread of all the ephemera from SF Stationery Fest. I used a bunch of business cards, which it's sad because I wish I knew like the back side because that's where the information for the artist is, but the other side, this side, has all the beautiful art. I know this is Ray Tora. Ooh, the rest I don't really remember. But yeah, I put a lot of ephemera, a lot of packaging things. Like this was a sticker to close the baggie. This is literally a sticker on a baggie. And just a lot of ephemera and freebies that came that day. Then here I got my traveler's notebook, my first one and hopefully only one. Well, I don't know about hopefully. We'll see. Try to keep it minimal, but it is what it is. So this day I got my passport size traveler's notebook. I got it at Mido. I also got, my mom gave me the mini pastel canvas tote bag, and then I went to Tandy Leather that day too. And then here I just wanted to put all my ephemera in one place and not throw this away. And then I just wrote a little summary of what happened that day. Here, this is a anniversary card that me and my fiance, well, we had a date for our anniversary and it was card making and we made each other cards. So this is mine. I'm not going to open it. There's a lot of words, but I put that in here. And then this was my first order from Yoseka Stationery. So everything that was on there, I just put onto a page. Got a handwritten letter. This was just the baggie it was on. All of these were on my packaging in one way or another. But this and this were from the ink that I bought. And this was just a card that came with it. Apparently I also finished a coffee. I wanted to share that or note that. So I put that all down in here. And then this page, I realized it's going to be where I put my vinyl stickers or more big stickers that I don't really know what to do with, but I like them. Especially a lot of them are freebies. Like this is okay, yeah, literally these are all freebies. This is just something I had on my Switch, but I wanted it off of my Switch, so I put it back in here. Well, not back, it's never been in here, but I wanted to put it here since it's kind of where my big vinyl stickers go. So yeah, a lot of these are freebies in one way or another. And I'll just keep putting on freebies here until we run out of space. This is a spread for my sister's birthday. We went to Japantown in San Francisco and got a couple things. But yeah, I just wanted, again, to note that down. So a lot of this journaling stuff, or this like junk journal, ephemera journal, is a lot more, I don't want to call it not creative, because it is pretty creative, but it is very memory keepy. Like a lot of these are things that I'd like to remember in the future. So I don't just put random stuff in here, because there's a lot of junk journals that are literal, and not in a bad way, but literal just junk. So yeah. And I'll show you my other journal where I literally just do junk journaling where nothing means anything to me, and if I lost it, I would be mad because there's other things in this journal. You'll see in a sec. But this, I would actually be pretty sad because there's a lot of memories in here that I'd like to keep. And in that case, or in that sense, it is more of a scrapbook. And then this was just a random day. I think I went to Kaiser, my hospital, for some cosmetology things. I got recommendations. I also got a package that day, and these are just some stuff that came along. My first Coffee Monsters Co. This is where I'm really happy and like proud of myself, where I just put it in here. Let me show you this too. Because I don't want to feel pressure to make everything look nice all the time. Because then a lot of times that will just make me not do it, and things will sit and pile up, and then I'll just never ever do it ever. So I'm trying to find a balance of allowing myself to just paste things in here when I want to, but also, like, you know, making pretty aesthetic ones. Like, I really like this one. And the Stationery Fest one I really liked as well. If I can find it. So this is, yeah, definitely a balance of making sure that I write down and note down things that I liked. Like, this is first TCMC order. And then keeping the cute stuff that come along. Again, another Goulet pen order. And then this is where, it again gets more memory keeping. Me and my fiance went on a date. So a lot of things that occurred that day, I took photos and then printed them out. Some of this are just random scraps, just to make it look cute a little bit. But for the most part, you know, the main point of the spread was to memory keep. And then here is another random page where sometimes when I rip washi, they're just extra pieces that come out and about, and sometimes I lose stickers because they're like from Daiso or they're really cheap ones and they fall off, or I just find them randomly like on my sock or something. So then I just put them here as a little junk journal-y kind of spread where it's literally junk, and not even trying to make it cute or anything, just I think it's funny. And I see a lot of people do similar things with this, stickers, or like the stickers on fruit. When you buy fruit and they just stick things there. And I kind of want to do that, but these are all my scrap, anything that sticks. So that's this spread. And we're building it up slowly, apparently. This was another kind of just like a weekly spread where in this week we bought a couple of things at Target. We went to Super Duper and Sizzling Lunch in a week. And then this is where I was saving a lot of stuff this weekend, or like the past couple weeks. And I'm like, okay, that's going in the junk journal. That's going in the junk journal. And then it never got into the junk journal. And then now I don't want to do it, but I do want to keep the stuff because I don't know, I am a little sentimental in that way. Just to remember like the day-to-day things of life, because like I feel like I don't remember exactly what I was doing 10 days or like 10 years ago to this day or on this day. So I just put something together to make sure that I remember the things that I wanted to remember. Like, I took this home for a reason, I took this home for a reason, took this home for a reason. So I just place it in here with no care of aesthetic. And then I got another Coffee Monsters Co. order. This is just my subscription, so I didn't get two things. It was just a subscription that came with 2 packages. And I even put the envelope in there. So that was my like scrapbooky, memory keepy type 1 or type junk journal. I also do a little bit of junk journaling in my Hobonichi Cousin 2025 because I only really use the weekly and monthly spreads. The dailies are just random stuff, like this page or this section, which is I think January, just has all my ink swatches. This has my Tombow brush pen swatches, and then every pen and ink pairing I write down my thoughts. This is literally commonplacing or just any random notes I want to take. This is my media, that's not books. So if I watch any shows, movies, thoughts go in here. These are my pen log, which I don't think I'm gonna continue, but when I had pens and was testing them out, I wrote in here and wrote down my thoughts. This section is nothing. I was going to make it a pen and ink journal, so I gave it a lot of pages, but I realized I don't think it was going to work out in this notebook. And then here, we finally get to my junk journal. Or junk journal portion of this notebook. So yeah, I think one thing that I've been working through, I was walking at Daiso one day during lunch, and Daiso, Uniqlo, and I got this free magazine where it's literally just, random stuff. So I've been trying to use that up. So a lot of these are going to be from there. Like this is from there, and then these layers and stuff are from there. These photos, or like cartoons. And then I'm just, trying to be creative and put things together and use some of my stationery. And then same here, I use the Uniqlo one again. And then for some reason, I accidentally skipped a page. 2 pages or spreads. And then I had this one, more Uniqlo stuff. And yeah, that was that. But yeah, that was a flip through of my junk journal, a little bit about how I use a junk journal, why I use a junk journal, / thoughts on junk journaling versus scrapbooking versus memory keeping versus, names, labels. They are what they are. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys in the next video.